Okay.
Yeah.
What is poppin', people? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Let us know who we are hanging out with here today. Excited for today's stream. Excited to be with you. Sunday night where you are, Monday morning where we are, and
Right.
ready to, get some Dynasty mock drafting going. A lot of people out there I know will be doing Dynasty startup drafts here.
Next couple weeks, I would say, right?
In the next week or so. Whether it's your first Dynasty stream or your first Dynasty draft or it's your 50th, you'll know that it's getting close to that time. Was watching yesterday the Ringer podcast, by the way, and Peter Schrager was on there, which I love Peter Schrager. That's kind of the reason I watched it. Ringer Fantasy Football, and they started talking about Dynasty, and they were just trashing on Dynasty football. It was like so disappointing, but I just don't think they realized. I don't think they realize how fun it is and how, just the feeling of building a team. They were kind of like, it's lame and only regular in season format. I was just like, why not? Why not both? ¿Por qué los dos?
¿Por qué no los dos?
That's what. But what's up, Ravers? Welcome into the stream, my man. Hopefully you're having a great day.
How you doing, brother?
But hopefully you guys are having a good day, good night. I'm pretty sure there's some NFL football on here soon.
Yeah, Chargers and New Orleans are currently playing right now. I'm watching.
Is that the only game today? Because I'm pretty sure the Commanders didn't play yet.
They play tomorrow.
They play
Commanders
tomorrow.
and Ravens play tomorrow.
Okay. Heard.
Tomorrow night. So
Heard.
Yeah.
All right.
Kendrick kind of toked the ball a couple times already.
What's up, Josh? Welcome in. A League says I got 4 firsts, JSN, Gibbs, and Fields in my Dynasty non-PPR. A League, why are we playing non-PPR in Dynasty? Come on, man. It's like
Gotta switch it up.
The league is with the times because they're playing a Dynasty league, but they're not playing any PPR, not even half. Come on, brother. Come on. All jokes. Thanks for joining us. Sam says those guys clearly chose the Patriots for every Madden franchise mode. What's up? On the clock right now, and considering Kincaid at the end of the 6th, 0.5 ton in premium. A little bit too rich for me, but I'd probably... I imagine there's still a lot of good tight ends on the board, so I guess it depends on like how is your draft fallen,
Yeah, that's the biggest question. How is your draft fallen? What other tight ends are available? I mean, if Kincaid is probably one of the last best tight ends available, I'm taking him there. But if you have someone like an Njoku, Evan Ingram, Pat Frymuth still available, then I'm happy
George
to kind
Kittle
of wait
maybe.
on. Yeah, George Kittle. I'm happy to wait on that a little bit more. Kind of risk it.
Okay, so if you guys want to join today's Dynasty Startup Draft, join our Discord first. Once you're in the Discord, Badake, what do you do?
Yeah, so once you join the Discord, all you have to do is go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs to your left. The link is in the description and in the chat already, as you can see, for the Discord. But yes, go to the Fantasyland tab on the far left with the orange footballs and go to content releases. That's exactly where you can join each and every mock draft, whether it's on our Dynasty channel or our redraft channel. So once again, one last time, Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs, content releases, and that's exactly where I'll be sending the link out here for you guys to join. And here we go. 3, 2, if I can find it. Oh, here we go. Content releases. 3, 2. There you go. That link is out, so you guys can start joining that now.
Yep. And as this fills up, just want to take a moment, give a big shout out to Ryan, I believe it is. We'll be doing a Dynasty team breakdown. Yeah. Sorry, Jordan, my bad. We'll be breaking down Jordan R's team right after today's mock draft. And the reason we'll be going in depth with his Dynasty team, looking at trade options and where his team currently sits and, what sort of deals he can make or what we would suggest moving forward is because he's supporting us over on the Flock Fantasy website. So he is one of those people who have signed up with our code LAND to the Flock Fantasy website, which you guys can see there. I just put it in the chat. If you sign up to the Mother Flocker tier, We'll be looking at your team this time next week, breaking down your Dynasty team. Okay, so we have one spot left, which is very surprising. Typically these mock drafts fill up pretty quickly. Yeah. Still one spot left. Again, join the Discord. Once you're in the Discord, under the Fantasyland tab, there's a content release tab. That's where that link is at the moment. No worries. GT Sport, what's up, fellas? You like Algier, B-Rob, Herbert, or Pirine in Dynasty? Between all of them, give me...
In Dynasty, I'm going Brian Robinson potentially. It's between Brian Robinson and Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, same.
But I'm pretty confident in Roscoe. That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm not like in love with any of those options. But I guess it would be B-Rob.
He has a draft capital as well.
Sargood says, "Dang, I was waiting for the link and didn't see it come through." Yeah, just to be clear, guys, make sure that you're in our new Discord. A lot of people don't realize that we have a new Discord. We started a new Discord over in March, and this is with the Flock Fantasy crew. So again, when you join, you'll see the Fantasyland tab right under content releases. That's where those links get sent for all of the streams that we do. Yeah. But this is a 12-man super flex PPR non-tight end premium 3rd round reversal draft. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. But for next time, Joe, feel free to text me as well. I'll help you out with that. As you see, Patty Mahomes off the board. What's up, T-Gray? Welcome in. I know you're loving the Justin Ross propaganda.
Oh, my goodness. It is going wild over there with Justin Ross. He's going to prove me wrong. I was like, there's no way I'm keeping this guy. I mean, he still has to make the team. But I don't see him not making the team.
He'll make the team, yeah. I'm not sure that he's like a startable fantasy asset, but...
Yeah.
He might just be like...
Rasheed Rice kind of put up there as well this week. So, I mean, he has a lot of competition to kind of go up against.
Yeah, that I'm just not sure how he separates himself from the rest of that room. We'll see, but... Sky Moore is going to be heavily involved. Rasheed Rice will, continually be more and more involved. And then you have MVS, who's still going to play a part. Obviously, Kelsey's the number one. So I think he will be a part of the team. I just don't think that he will. How do I say? I actually have Trevor Lawrence over Lamar in Dynasty. I just don't think that he would be someone that you can necessarily start or flex in fantasy. Now, I could be wrong, but I just don't see how he separates himself from that room. What I will say is Rasheed Rice looked really good after the catch, but a couple drops and just it's multiple games now with a really, I would say, a really obvious drop. Not something that we need to like overanalyze at all, but he looks really good after the catch, and that's kind of what I alluded to when they first drafted him. Like, dang, if they are able to utilize him after the catch in their offense, I think he could be really nasty.
Yeah. Obviously, we liked Rice coming in. Obviously, there was a lot of ups and downs in the offseason, especially with the combine and his numbers and come out maybe the way that we were hoping and expecting for. And then the hype. There wasn't as much hype for Rice. If specifically during Senior Bowl, he wasn't getting anything, right? He was getting kind of destroyed in Senior Bowl often, so that kind of hurt his stock. But hey, with Patrick Mahomes, anything can happen, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure, especially if they utilize him properly. All right, in the first round, we see 8 quarterbacks off the board, preceded by 5 wide receivers and 1 running back, that being Bijan Robinson. If you guys are out there and you have a Dynasty startup draft coming soon, I just want to let you guys know that tomorrow I'm releasing a video on the channel, and it's literally called How to Dominate Your Startup Draft. I go round by round. I give you reasons as to why I target certain positions and why I don't target other positions, and I show you an actual mock draft and actual examples of how to dominate your draft. So if you're getting into that season and you are someone who's going to be doing some Dynasty startup drafts here soon, that video will be out tomorrow, and I'm really excited for you guys to see it. I hope that it will be very, very helpful for you. So, yeah. All right, so A-Rich and Bryce Young off the board there. Trent says, just did my startup yesterday. Have to join another one then, man. Have to join another one. Joe says, my bad. Don't know how I missed a new channel because I got the updates on OG. Thankful for you both. Thankful for you, man.
Appreciate you,
yes,
man.
Definitely want to mock with you. Okay, Amon-Ra goes off the board, and I am up on the clock.
I mean, it's pretty...
Oh, wow. Deshaun Watson's still there.
Yeah, I was about to say Deshaun Watson forward at the 2-6 there.
How is that possible?
It's pretty significant. I was like, whoa.
I feel like he's looked pretty good as well in the preseason.
Yeah, he has. So, I mean, I'm excited for Deshaun.
Or, sorry, like pre-camp reports. Has he actually played in the preseason? I feel like he has, right?
Preseason. Yeah, he played in preseason. I think he had a good drive.
I'm kind of shocked by that, him being available there.
Yeah, with the team, so...
Yeah.
It was Kyler Murray at the 2-8.
Oh, that's also a very good pick. Good job, Tyler. Trying to keep up with the chat here. Devon. Is it Devon or is it Devin? Okay.
It is Devon.
Devon, the reason I'm asking you that, I could be saying your name wrong, is because when we started scouting Devon A-Chain, we were calling him Devin A-Chain. Like, it's pretty understandable why. Like, it looks like Devin. And then it was like, it's Devon in the comments. It's Devon, you idiots.
It's Devon.
So is it Devon or Devin? It's Dev. Okay.
It's Dev. Makes sense.
I have the 104. Really want Bijan. Is that dumb? In a super flex, yeah, that's too early.
Yeah.
No, that's too early for Bijan in a super flex. Non-super flex, definitely. He, like, to me, in a non-super flex dynasty league, he's one of the top 3 assets in dynasty.
Pre-sold to attacks. Third round reversal there.
Yep, little third round reversal action going on.
Little sneaky peek.
Mm-hmm. AJ Brown over Bijan is crazy, Chandler says. I hear you. Just depends, I guess, on the type of team you're building. I would value them pretty closely, but yeah, Bijan, he's probably like the only running back I would be comfortable drafting in the first 2 rounds. Where do you find dynasty leagues to join? Kevin says. Well, I'll tell you this, Kevin. We have a wait list for our dynasty leagues. We don't have any spots that are currently open, but if you want to be on the wait list to join a league with us, then it's actually super simple. Everybody who uses our code LAND, L-A-N-D, on the Flock Fantasy website, if they choose a Mother Flocker tier, all they have to do is DM us. We'll get them set up with all their other perks. They unlock everything on the website, and they also are added to our wait list for our Dynasty Leagues in case something comes up. So I can tell you that. I'll put a link in the chat in case you're interested. No pressure at all. Those are the leagues that we host. Outside of that, you can join our Discord, and sometimes people are talking about leagues in there.
Okay, so just scored a touchdown, baby.
Sorry?
Kendrick Miller just scored a touchdown.
That's my guy.
Look it up.
Get him in there. CJ Stroud at the 3-1 is actually insane as well. There's like so many good values on the board.
They're falling right now.
I'm kind of shocked at the way this is happening at the moment. Like, how is Dak Prescott still on the board at the 3-6? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, I'll grab a wide receiver here. It'll be JS in there. Welcome to the squad, Jackson. Well, there Dak goes. Sorry, I just realized that I probably shouldn't have.
No, it's okay.
Said his name, but
I probably wasn't gonna go with him anyway. I want to go with somebody else here. And I doubt Tyler is gonna take this person. Maybe he does because he has Kyler Murray. So we'll see.
What's up, Sean? He says, when are you guys hearing Kyler might play this year? So I am. I've been working really hard on actually making projections for my fantasy rankings, and I currently have him projected to play 65% of the season. And I don't really think we have necessarily a complete concrete date at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
65% of the season would mean that he would play from, I believe, week 6 onwards. So that's what I'm currently projecting. I would not be surprised if that's more like week 8. But I think within the first 8 weeks, we will see Kyler Murray on the field. Looks like he looks healthy. He's working out. He looks like himself. So I would say, again, right now, have him projected to play 65% of the year, which is going to make Hollywood Brown a ridiculous value in all formats, if that's true.
Yeah, I would say week 6 to 8. I mean, that's kind of where we were projecting. As we think we both said he was going to miss the first at least 5 weeks of the season. So if he comes back after that time, that just makes sense. Not necessarily sure he kind of returns that value, I guess, in a redraft perspective. Dynasty, to the 2A, I guess you can take him there, but I'm happy to wait a little bit, see where he falls. So yeah, let's see what happens. It goes Jordan Addison, and that just makes my pick so much easier. I'll get Quentin there.
All right, Quentin off the board. Let's see what Tyler and J-Mo do here. Trying to keep up with the chat. We see you guys. Sorry if we don't reply to every comment. Want to make sure that we look at the mock draft and your comments. Of course, if you want something answered desperately, super chat's available, but no pressure. Devon says, can't wait for the video. My first ever Dynasty draft in 7 days. Yes, perfect.
That's awesome, man.
I was hoping that this video would be super helpful for people who are stepping in. I also think it's really important for people who are currently in Dynasty drafts. And how the hell is Mark Andrews available here? And Kyle Pitts.
You gotta choose one.
Am I... How is this a possibility right now? At the 4-7? Typically, those guys are gone in the 3rd, no?
I think the last time we did a mock last week, I think they both went in the 4th as well.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
It's negative tight end premium, Steven says. Yeah, so every time you catch the ball, it's negative 1 point for your team. I love that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know, Steven. That's good to know. Well, look, I'll just say this to anyone who is drafting soon. Kyle Pitts or Mark Andrews in the 4th round, regardless of your format, is like auto picks for me, in my opinion. Trent says in Dynasty League is offering Addison, Burks, Dotson, and Deontay Johnson.
What was it? In Dynasty League is all.
I'm not sure what the trade is, Trent.
Maybe he says in Dynasty League was offered Addison, Burks, Dotson, and Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, for what though?
Oh yeah, if I do have Chase. So are you saying you're gonna get Addison, Burks, Dotson, and Deontay?
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand
Jefferson. That. I mean, like I feel like that's what maybe he's going. I don't know.
Yeah. What's up, Josh?
How you doing, man?
3 first rounders and one of my rebuilding team looking to get another. Should I look to trade Etienne? Well, if you're rebuilding, in my rebuilding teams, I typically don't have really any running backs that I'm excited about. I'm just gonna be honest with you. So, yeah, if you're truly rebuilding, I would sell Mixon in season, I would sell Dobbins in season, and I would sell Etienne. Like, ideally, you get 2 firsts and a couple seconds from those guys.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Mixon and Dobbins, yeah, and I think their value is going to be significantly higher in season, like you alluded to, when they're playing, especially to a win-now team. In the first, let's say, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, those guys are top 10 running backs. You can easily get a first-round pick for them. Yeah. And especially if you're rebuilding, especially if somebody that's trying to win now has that first and says, "Hey, I just need somebody else." Maybe that person has a Dalvin, and he can get a Mixon who's top 10 now that Breece Hall is back in the middle of the season. There's so many different ways that can go.
Yeah. Okay, Pollard goes off the board. Then Devontae Adams, he felt like a pretty good value there.
Quentin in space, baby.
Next for me would probably Christian Watson drafted? Yeah, he went at
Yeah,
312.
yeah.
Let's see how this pans out here. We're gonna grab Jahan Dotson here.
Jahan Dotson.
We'll grab Jahan Dotson.
Oof. I was hoping DJ was gonna fool me right there.
Yeah, DJ Moore, definitely someone I was considering there too. TJ Hawkinson goes off the board.
Okay, now I'm on the clock here.
Trent, what's up, Double L? Welcome in.
How you feeling, brother?
Trent says, sorry, those 4 for Justin Jefferson. So you're sending away Jordan Addison, Treylon Burks, Jahan Dotson, and Deontay Johnson. Trent, I just feel like we need more context, my man. Like, how big is the league? How many starters are there? Because it sounds like you're sending away an entire starting lineup of wide receivers for a lot of people. Sean says, mad respect for trying to figure out that comment. No worries, we try our best. How different are you guys finding these mock drafts versus actual drafts? Yeah, I think you're right, Sean. It's much, much easier for people to try different. And we even say it ourselves, like, use a mock draft to try a strategy that you might not always try, but also use it to try the strategies that you feel really comfortable with and that you want to execute when you are drafting. That way, depending on how the board falls, you'll know kind of what to build around. But yeah, people definitely feel more comfortable taking risks in a mock for sure.
Yeah, 100%. They like to take the risk to see how things can kind of pan out, but normally they're going to go completely different. I mean, it's good to practice to do your different strats, but sometimes you got to take it with a grain of salt. Most of the time when it comes down to mock drafts, I would say.
Tight end premium, Ingram, Njoku, Kincaid, or Musgrave. Probably Kincaid.
Damn, I wanted Zay right there.
Yeah, Zay's a great pick there for sure.
That's what I wanted next. I mean, it's so... I think I'm going to go to... I mean, if Calvin gets the extension, right? Go Calvin there.
I love that. I love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, before I didn't really love it, but I mean, he's showing up in camp and everything.
Oh, how the tables have turned. I love it. Jordan Love at the 6'5" as the QB3 for Tyler. No wide receivers off the board for him so far. Jordan Love definitely looking fantastic in preseason. If you guys have been with the channel since we started, that has been a player I have encouraged everyone to buy and to stash on their roster. And it feels good to know that it's definitely paid off for everyone who's done it. Even if you sell him now, like, it's still paid off, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, he looks really great in preseason. You love Jordan Love here. I mean, what's he, the 6'5", and he's your QB3 there, Tyler? I don't think that's bad.
Oh, no. Sorry, guys. I didn't know it was on the clock. I'm sorry. That's my bad, gang.
Treylon Burks.
Yeah, Jordan Love's looking good, man. Looking good. I will say though, I'm not like I always say this. Don't take too much away from preseason. I think maybe one of the most harmful things you can do is put just too much stock into preseason action.
Right.
What I will say is a couple things that I've found concerning that I'm just monitoring would firstly be that I don't feel like he's targeting Christian Watson at all.
That's exactly my thought. There is one guy specifically that I think he is targeting that he likes.
That's Romeo Doubs.
Exactly.
And Luke Musgrave.
That is exactly what I said to myself when I was watching it yesterday, and I was like, his favorite target is Doubs. Like, we should be valuing him a little bit higher than what he's going right now. He's going undrafted normally. I don't think he's getting drafted in mock drafts, especially
You're saying in
redraft.
redraft, correct?
Yeah,
like,
in redraft
not in
specifically.
Dynasty, but
Yeah,
right.
not in Dynasty, but in redraft specifically. In Dynasty, you know, maybe if you want to take a, you know, one of these, I don't know, late round picks for dubs, sure. And that's what a lot of people were also saying. Now going to the tight end position, a lot of people were really leaning on Tucker Kraft, not liking, you know, they were getting Tucker Kraft in the 4th, where I was every single time I was drafting Luke Musgrave in the 3rd, but he's targeting the tight end position with dubs, not Watson. So I completely agree. I completely agree with that.
Like, it almost feels like at this point, wouldn't you rather have Dobbs than Jaden Reed, or is that too far? I don't know, because it feels like grab either of them late because they both could be
something.
But again, like I 100% believe that when the season is actually going, we're seeing ones versus ones. Watson's going to be a huge target in that offense. I don't see how he doesn't get 20% of the target share. But the issue is like right now it doesn't look very good. It's really strange.
I think you can just tell the chemistry that Jordan Love has with Dubs. Not that he doesn't have the chemistry with Watson. That is just what's being exposed to us right now, which feels a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah. Again, but maybe we're falling into that comfort too much. Okay, Marquise Brown off the board. That's a great pick. Can you count me down?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, we'll
1.
grab Chris Godwin there.
Okay.
Wasn't sure exactly what pick to make, but I feel good about that. Darren Waller at the 7-7.
Darren Waller.
Love me some Darren Waller, my guy. I don't know if you guys were able to watch that video over on the redraft channel, but like I said when I dropped it, it's just the culmination of, like, I would say 6 months of work, 6 months of research that we've kind of come through. I give you guys 6 my guys for redraft leagues this year. All guys that I'm higher on than ADP that I want on my teams. And I also give you 4 honorable mentions. So technically 10 players. So if you're drafting soon, hopefully that is a helpful video for you guys to watch over on the redraft channel. I will paste a link in the chat in case anyone's interested. Christian Kirk goes off the board. What are you thinking here? Miles Sanders at the 7-9.
Sam Howell. See how he goes.
Sam Howell goes at the 7-10. Brandon kind of put in a tough spot there because typically there's better quarterbacks available at that point in the 7th round.
They kind of went a little bit earlier.
Put in a little bit of a difficult position there, I would say. You know, you can punt quarterbacks only so long, and I think he was thinking, wow, I have at the 6-3 where he took Zay Flowers, which, by the way, great pick. But in his mind, I'm just thinking, like, what would he be thinking there? He's thinking, dang, Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins, Kenny Pickett, Brock Purdy all available? All right, I'll get my quarterback in the 7th. Yeah, I always say this with people who go late quarterbacks and Superflex. You're all just playing chicken with each other. Eventually, someone's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson at the 8-2 is actually pretty ridiculously good value.
Zach Charbonnet. All right, I'll take Cam here then. Yeah, I mean, preseason, I think it's showing a lot of good things for a lot of teams. You know, a lot more confidence. Obviously, got to take it with a grain of salt, but I love it. I love that what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
I love the confidence that we're seeing in quarterbacks. I mean, like, same thing with, like, Waller. It is so... I mean, we kind of knew that, but, like, it is crazy how much targets he's going to be getting this year with Waller. Kenny Pickett is looking great so far. I mean, I think he scored in every single drive. Like, it's kind of wild how good Kenny is looking right now.
Kenny looks great. Good. He looks very good.
Yeah, so.
Brandon says, read my mind. He says, thought I was getting Purdy for sure. Yeah. Okay, so Amari Cooper goes off the board, but that's fine because one spot ahead of my rankings, I have Elijah Moore. I'll take him there at the 8-7. And this is kind of how I build my teams. I'm excited for you guys to see the video that I'm releasing tomorrow. Again, if you're in a Dynasty draft soon, if you're a veteran or a rookie, I really think there's some extremely helpful information in this video. It's called How to Dominate Your Dynasty Startup Draft. So that's coming out tomorrow. I'm excited for you guys to see it. Let's see what Dan's kneecaps does here. Love the name. Okay, double tight end. Interesting. Look, in a non-tight end premium format, I don't know that I'd make that move myself, but to each their own, you know. I just think we got to be building around those wide receivers at that point, no?
Yeah, you kind of have to. I mean, maybe there's not that many wide receivers he does like there.
Fair.
Maybe he feels like George Kittle is the best value as well, but we'll see. A lot of people really liked. I mean, I personally don't love Kittle in the long term, but a lot of people like Kittle. I think Kittle is a good sell player.
Yeah, we talked about that recently. I think we're on opposite sides of that. I really like Kittle, especially with Purdy being the QB1 there myself. But I hear you. He's been inconsistent and he's had injury history for sure.
Yeah, so we will definitely see what happens. Mac Jones
off the board at the 8-12. And Sam was saying, I'm not liking my quarterback situation. He said that here for us. JJ, Bryce Young showed flashes in preseason. No, not worried, JJ. I mean, I'll be honest. Just in general, if you have him in Dynasty, I feel like I say this most years, but don't expect a Justin Herbert. Don't expect a that kind of start for your rookie quarterbacks. Expect what Trevor Lawrence did in his rookie season from these guys. Expect what Tua did in his rookie season. You'll see some flashes this year, but with Bryce, with CJ, don't have high expectations for them this year. We just need to see some flashes. We need to see that they are worth their value. Dang, dude, yep. Like Derek Carr, I felt like was such a good value on the board. He goes there, so I'm not going to go quarterback now because I felt like he was a really, really good value there. What I will do is grab my first running back in Alexander Madison. Welcome to the team.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, nice.
Josh says if this was my team, I'd be going for the ship this year. Which team is Josh again? Is he JMO? I can't remember on Sleeper. It's a good team for sure. Javonte Slippin, Jackson says he is a little bit. Yeah, 7-Eleven's pretty good value there.
He had a couple touches yesterday. Looked a little bit rusty. Had a couple drops as well where he was wide open, but that's okay. I mean, it's good. Get it out in preseason.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, the value right now in a redraft perspective is phenomenal, but in Dynasty, I mean, what's his James Cook right off the board there?
Yeah, and I'll just quickly say, like, while you're looking that up, it's actually completely okay for people to make mistakes in camp and preseason. At this point of the year, a lot of things are not as they will be in season. So, for example, if you're hearing out of camp that a quarterback is throwing a bunch of picks, okay, that's fine. Because in camp, we know that coaches are encouraging quarterbacks to test their limits. Hey, you might play this safe in a game, but right here, right now, test your limits. Try and make that throw that you don't know if you can make. That way, when you're in a game, you do know what your limits are. You know if you can make that ridiculous pass or not. Like, for just one example like that, that doesn't worry me. Drops in preseason don't really worry me. I know we just talked about Javonte. Just overall, those kind of things don't worry me too much. And then also the opposite side of that is when a player is doing ridiculously good. Like I love Devon Achane. You know this, Badake. We've disagreed for so long about Devon Achane. He looked incredible yesterday, but I'm aware that he was not facing ones. So if there's a rookie player that you love and they're going off and they're doing incredible, it's likely that they're doing it versus the second string. And if they weren't doing that, you should be really concerned if they're not doing well versus second string players. So like there's just overreactions both ways. But talking about Javonte, I was just honestly just glad to see him out there and looking like himself,
Yeah, absolutely. And that was the most exciting part here. I'm just going to be taking Monty here.
Great pick.
Um,
My guy. Official my guy. I don't know if you saw the video or not, but
yeah. Yeah, I like Monty here at the 10-4, my RB3. Yeah, it's good to see Javonte back. It's good to see him. It looks like he's going to be potentially of value in redraft, unless we're going to see that this week to see how far he rises in a redraft perspective.
yeah.
Because I think a lot of people are going to start leaning on Javonte a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of makes me wish some of our drafts were earlier.
Before,
Like
yeah.
seriously, like with our home leagues, I wish we drafted so much earlier because I feel like I could have had a ridiculous team. Aaron Jones off the board. I like that pick. That's probably someone I would have considered. Ooh, that's tempting.
What are you thinking here?
We will we'll grab Kendre. I want to see how this pans out. We'll grab Kendre. I want to see what comes back to me here.
Okay.
I did a video on the Dynasty channel well, about a day ago or so, showing you guys the trades that I've made. 8 trades I made in the last month. And I said in the video, you'll see most of my teams are built around quarterbacks, wide receivers, and tight ends. And then I come into this mock draft, and what do? Build my team around quarterbacks, wide receivers, and tight ends.
That's right. That's what you want to do, baby. On the bus in retirement. Why? Oh, man. Goes Richie Rich there. Tyler Lockett.
Yep, Rasheed off the board.
There's a couple options here for me.
Josh says my team going for the ship and then loading up the bus for retirement in Hawaii. Love that.
Honestly.
It won't be a redraft today, JW, but we will be live tomorrow on the redraft channel. So if you guys want to practice your mock drafts or practice for your real drafts, join us over on the redraft channel tomorrow. Typically we go live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So join us over there, and we'll be doing mock drafts literally throughout the entire week, every night. So,
yeah.
By the way, shout out to the 61 people watching the stream. If you can be a friend, do us a favor, hit the like button. Really, really simple way for you to help the channel grow, help support us. Every time you do hit that like button, it just tells YouTube that people are enjoying our content. So if you are enjoying the content, be a friend, hit the like button, help the channel grow. Appreciate you guys. Okay, so we see Tyler Lockett, Rashee Rice, Dalvin Cook, Brian Robinson, Kadarius Toney, Jaden Reed, all off the board. Then James Conner's an auto pick for G Money. That was definitely who I was wanting to come back to me.
G Money has like, what's this? 2, 4, 6.
Is G Money here? I just don't feel like he would draft this way. I could be wrong. It says he's active.
Yeah, it says he's active on auto. I don't know.
I just don't see him taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs in essentially 8 rounds. It's a little bit of a shocker to me. Okay, coming back around. Some decent options still, I would say.
Yeah, a lot of good players I think still available, which is
I'll grab Antonio there.
Odd here for the 11th round. I think I have a lot of options.
Sam says Tank City for me, baby. Trying to get the 101 with Caleb, right?
College football starts next week as well, guys. So that's also exciting.
Yeah.
I think it's this weekend actually. If I'm not mistaken, the weekend coming up.
That's right. Jimmy G goes off the board. A lot of talk about Aiden O'Connell. AOC, as a lot of people are starting to call him.
Take Sky.
Looks pretty good, but again, preseason action. Remember, isn't AOC the nickname for like some American politician?
Yeah, so it's like she's really big for like the Spanish community
Okay,
in America. Right. AOC.
A lot of people are calling what's his face AOC. I'm just like, what? Haven't watched the game. Obviously, seeing the tweets about Kendre's touchdown. Excited to watch it though. Y'all know Kendre's my boy.
My boy Blue. Yeah, he's getting work right now. He's getting work in the passing game as well. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he just caught a pass there in the flat. So he's getting significant work. I keep going back and forth to the screen, the draft in this game.
Yeah. Joshua says Jimmy G makes me sick to draft. Steven says, y'all think Marvin Harrison Jr. will go over Drake May in rookie drafts next year? Possible. Right now, I have Marvin Harrison Jr. ranked ahead of Drake May. But it's very, very possible. I mean, you know, we always say quarterbacks and where they will go from a year before projections to the next year is almost impossible to predict. I mean, remember at one point, Sam Howell was projected to be the #1 overall pick the year before his senior year, and then he ends up being a 5th-round pick. I think Drake May and Caleb Williams are in 2 different classes from Sam Howell. I think they're different tiers of talent, but it still happened. And by the way, I talked to Badake about this,
I'm on the freaking thing.
No, go ahead.
I'm on the clock. Sorry, I was not ready for that.
Been talking to Badake about this for a while, but if you guys are interested in college football, I have a channel that I've started where I'm gonna kind of dive deep into college football, dive deep into Devy football. If anyone out there plays Devy, or if you haven't heard of what Devy is and you want to learn more about it, go ahead and subscribe over there to my personal channel that I'm starting. First video will be out this week, and I will be live streaming as well Devy mock drafts, where we'll talk about a bunch of in-depth college players. But what do you think? Do you think Marvin Harrison Jr. will be ahead of Drake May this time next year? I think it's a possibility.
Yeah, I think when you look at the landscape of how these quarterbacks have kind of panned out. You're on the clock, by the way.
Yeah.
You got about 10 seconds now. 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay. When you look at like how the landscape kind of pans out, it kind of feels like these wide receivers are just significantly more valuable outside of someone like a Trevor Lawrence that we've had in the past. You know, you think of Trey Lance and how all that kind of panned out. That was a little bit different. But yes, I do believe Marvin Harrison is going to be the safer pick when it comes down to that situation. I think no matter where he goes, no matter what quarterback he's going to be paired up to, that just feels like the safer longer pick, if that makes any sense. So I feel really confident in that, and Marvin will be higher than Drake, unless Drake is just like right now. I mean, it feels like Caleb and then Marvin, 101, 102. That's how it is for me, right? I think Drake has to like do amazing things to say this is a generational type of player. I feel like Marvin Harrison is that generational, already stamped even last year, that generational type player right now.
Yeah, right now for me, the big 3 goes Williams, Harrison Jr., and May. But that could definitely turn around. Sean says, do you guys ever do Devy rankings? On my new channel, absolutely. You will see Devy rankings over there on that new channel. In fact, I've been building out a database with a lot of you guys might know him, Kyle. He is someone who has supported us, Badake and I, for a long time on our channel. But we're building a database together for Devy rankings, to do Devy mock drafts, where you can see my scouting on players. Eventually, we're going to dive into having research for you guys, like how much does it matter in Devy to draft a 5-star player versus a 4-star player? What's the hit rate between those two? Those kind of things we're diving into. So, yes, over on my channel, I will have Devy rankings for you guys. And I was going to say, but I feel like I was so far out on Gabe Davis last year. But Gabe Davis feels like a value now in drafts. Like, not only in Dynasty, but also in redraft, he feels like a huge value wherever you draft him.
Yeah, I mean, where did he go here? Did he get drafted here?
He went in the 12th round. I mean, this is a guy
12th,
last year
12th.
where people are drafting him in the 5th, 6th, 7th round of Dynasty startup drafts. And I'm like, this is insane. This is way too high. I was completely out on him last year. But now I feel like he's a huge value in drafts. Not only in Dynasty, but also in redraft.
Yeah, I mean, Rondo there. I'll take Rondo more here. Yeah, look, he definitely probably is becoming a value. I think, a lot of things something that you would allude to often is that he feels better in a best ball format. I'm not necessarily sure if I want to be starting him on a week-to-week basis. I think that was kind of my thing. Like,
yeah, I
loved his upside last year. I feel like he's confident. He's a good flex spot on a bye week type of scenario.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are. It's me specifically. I would think a lot of people would agree. I think Dalton Kincaid is going to take a lot of his targets away, and he's just going to. And not that he even got targeted often, I mean, I think one of his highest target games was I think 10, and that was. But it goes from 10 or one target a game.
Yeah.
So it's boom or bust significant, but I think
I think
Kincaid is going to eat into those targets often.
100% I agree with you. I think the difference is he will have the same value. In my opinion, he'll have the same value as he did last year. You're just getting him rounds way cheaper, They didn't add a wide receiver. Yes, tight end for sure, Kincaid. But they didn't add a wide receiver, I would say, to really compete with him. Looking at my projections for this year, I currently have Gabe Davis statted out with 104 targets. I've given him 16% of the target share. So 104 targets, 57 receptions, almost 800 yards and 7 touchdowns. So I think he is going to end up being a value, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it all depends on what that looks like and how what that looks like for Dalton. I think Dalton is going to play a massive part. We kind of saw that, yesterday a little bit. Him being utilized in the slot, him getting that open field opportunity with Josh Allen, and then obviously the backup quarterback. So,
yeah. Okay, I just got auto picked. My bad, guys.
I didn't call. I didn't count it down. My fault.
It's okay. Sean says, sleeper college running back this year. Looking forward to subbing to that. In my Devy drafts, I personally feel like Trey Benson has been the biggest steal in every Devy draft I'm in. For me, Trey Benson is someone that I would have ranked inside my, he's my RB5 in Devy. I would have him ranked inside my top 15 for sure. And I'm constantly seeing him go end of round 2, mid round 3 in Devy draft. So I think Trey Benson's going to be an absolute monster. The rate that he forced a missed tackle last year is ridiculous. We consider Bijan Robinson the king of the forced missed tackle, but Trey Benson did it at a much higher rate. That's not to say that Trey's a more complete running back whatsoever, but in that area in particular, he was better. So I would say Trey Benson is someone that I'm definitely all in on. But if you're looking for a deep name, definitely excited to watch Trevor Etienne, Travis's brother from Florida. And then I would say Braylon Allen, but a lot of people already know about Braylon Allen. Branson Robinson's going to be exciting to watch from Georgia. Of course, Georgia's always rotating their backs, but Branson Robinson, I mean, this dude is... he is a huge human being. He is massive. He is 5'10", but 230 pounds, somewhere around there. So I'm excited to see what he looks like. He looks pretty efficient in not a lot of opportunities last year. Of course, you see a lot of those Bulldogs get moved around, but I think he'll get an opportunity for sure. Keon Coleman, Brandon says, love Keon Coleman. And love that he moved to Florida State because I feel like everyone was moving away from Michigan State. He's kind of decided, hey, it's probably time for me to get out of here. But yeah, couple names there.
Yeah. Yo, Quentin, talk it up. All right, I think that's the end of the draft here, guys. I think we're gonna go into a team grade.
That's right, we are.
I need to see who are we grading. Okay, Jordan.
I'm just gonna let them know. Grading your team now on stream. Okay, so if you guys don't know, we do offer Dynasty team grades, live breakdowns of your team, directions we would take, maybe some moves we might do. And we offer this to people who support us over on the Flock Fantasy website with our promo code LAND. So if you want us to be looking at your Dynasty team either today or next week, this time on the stream, then go ahead and use our promo code LAND to get 30% off. Choose the Mother Flocker tier, DM us, and we will be looking at your team this time next week. But on today's stream, we're looking at Jordan's team. Jordan, thank you for your support.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
A 1 quarterback 10 team, full PPR start 10, non-tight end premium. After 2 failed seasons, I've decided to rebuild this team. This year, rather. I've decided to tank for Marvin Harrison Jr. for next year's rookie draft to help boost my wide receiver room. Got lots of young, unproven talent mixed with old vets. RB is the smallest and biggest thing I want to address besides the wide receiver room. I plan on contending in 2024. I don't want to wait 2 to 3 years. I feel like I have good pieces. Okay, so we know his league ID, so we can find his team. And he DM'd me. He's like, is it okay to put my team name in there? It's kind of crude. Like, no, it's fine. His team name is Dick Hang Low.
Dick Hang Low, baby.
And he's currently, with players only, ranked as the worst team. So he's on his way.
He's on his way up. Nice. He's chilling here. Okay. Looking at his team here, obviously it's a 1 quarterback. So you have plenty of opportunity. I mean,
yeah,
Trevor Bryce
probably
Young,
overpowered.
Yeah, I mean, maybe can we get some? Well, it's 10 teams. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't think you'll get too much value for those guys.
You're not going to get too much value for those guys. But yeah, I think with these quarterbacks, you're fine. You don't have to worry about it. You keep Trevor Lawrence. Running backs here: Khalil Herbert, Brian Robinson, Chase Brown, Izzy.
Who just got injured, by the way?
Who just got injured?
Izzy.
Oh yes. I thought you were saying somebody got injured like in the game.
No.
Raheem Lenny. Okay, so that was kind of something that he really wanted to address coming into this build here. Running backs is small, and the biggest thing I want to address besides the wide receiver room. Okay, so we can kind of hit on that first here.
Yeah, I think the running back room is like, this is like you said it earlier, Jordan, but your running back room is clearly not a strength, but I would say that's a good thing, because if you are actually trying to tank, you wouldn't really want good running backs on your team. That's probably going to do the opposite for you. It'll help you win games, and then next year they will inevitably be less valuable except for those few young elite guys. Right now, I mean, my only plan, to be honest, with the running back room, I don't see anyone that you would be able to sell high. However, I would say Khalil Herbert and Brian Robinson in season, let's say in the first 3 or 4 weeks, these guys are top 24 at the position. I would personally be comfortable selling both of them for draft capital. Let's say Khalil Herbert in like the first 3 weeks is the RB21 and he's catching screen passes. He's super involved. Well, we all know that Rashawn Johnson's waiting in the wings and that he is a very talented player. Higher draft capital was brought in by this group, by this GM, by this head coach, and he's also likely to be involved in the passing game. There's a chance by the end of the year or heading into his second year that Rashawn Johnson's the guy there. Not solidified, but there's a good chance. So Herbert, I would look at selling, and then Brian. to me, has always been someone that I've viewed as just a replaceable running back. You could easily replace this guy. I don't see a scenario in which you're paying him big money long term in a contract.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if he's like one of those, like let's say he has one of those classic 20 carries for 60 yards and 2 touchdown games, right? Try and see what you can sell him for a team who just had an injury to a running back. Outside of that, Chase Brown I would be holding in this format. And I don't see any other guys having value. Let's say Lenny Fournette, maybe if he signs with, let's say, the Cowboys, you could look at potentially moving him. Can you get a late second in a one quarterback potentially? Have to think from that perspective, not super flex. Raheem Mostert, another guy that you could, like, honestly, with his age, I doubt you get anywhere near a second, but can you get a future third? Doesn't have to be in 24, can be in 25.
Yeah.
That's how I would address this running back room, given the desire to not compete this year.
I think, I was just looking ahead as you were kind of giving that. He's planning to compete in 2024. He doesn't want to wait 2 or 3 years. Honestly,
he's
Jordan,
gonna have to.
I think you're gonna have to. You look at the best team in this league, and you look at the weapons that he has: Justin Fields, Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall,
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, with Kyle Pitts. I mean, your top three teams.
This is not a 1 year turnaround.
Yeah, this is not a 1 year turnaround. If you're doing a 1 year turnaround, you're gonna have to like lowball some people, and like they're gonna have to make a stupid trade. That's how I see that happening for you. I mean, you look at even team 2, Goatee, Joe Burrow, Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley with Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, Drake London, Christian Watson with Darren Waller as the tight end. I mean, the list goes on at wide receiver. The list goes on at running back. This is a 2 to 3 year build, unfortunately, brother, because the running backs aren't there, and not even the running backs aren't strong, which is fine. If you had a good wide receiver room, great, but you don't have the best wide receiver room, and let's maybe talk about that. Debo Samuel, Sky Moore, Jonathan Mingo, Marvin Mims, Dubs, Reed Allen, Tillman, Calvin Austin. These aren't guys you want to build around. I mean, you hope Sky becomes something this year. You hope Jonathan Mingo in the long term becomes something. Marvin Mims could turn into something. We were just talking about Romeo in the early part of this of the live stream, saying that he could be the favorite target here. But you have 2 Green Bay Packers on this team with Dubs and Reed. I just don't see the pathway of you competing next year, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it from this perspective. If this was a redraft team, right? And obviously, we're tanking this year. But if this was a redraft team, do we know we can start Sky Moore yet? No. Hopefully, you can start him next year. We believe that will be the case this time next season. Jonathan Mingo, certainly not a absolute guarantee for him to pop off on his team. Doesn't have first round draft capital. There's questions around his profile. We like the athleticism. We like the idea of him playing in the slot, but that doesn't mean that he's automatically going to be someone that you can start in fantasy. Marvin Mims, a player that a lot of people like. I know Badake likes, but still likely to be, the third option on his team. So Badaki's right. I mean, if we were looking at a team like at quarterback, you're fine, but at running back and wide receiver, this is not a team that I envision looking at the other teams in your league that it's a 1 year turnaround. And I think it makes it more difficult because if you truly wanted to do a 1 year turnaround, ideally you would have a ton of draft capital. And that's just really not the case. I mean, in 2024, we only have our first round pick. We don't have anyone else's. So think about that. Best case scenario. If everything lines up absolutely perfectly for you in a 1 quarterback league, you'll end up with Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah. But even if you add Marvin Harrison Jr. to this roster, you're not competing next year.
Yeah, no way.
You're not with the assets that you have. In 2024, you have a second, you have 2/3. Sorry, you have 3/3. But yeah, you do not have enough assets all around to make this a 1 year turnaround. I have to be honest with you. This is going to take a long time to get where you want it to get, I think.
I mean, It's
And
tough.
looking at how dominant these teams are at the top, there is such an imbalance of power in this league that, look,
It's top heavy.
we want to be as honest as possible, and we want to give the best actionable advice as possible. And if I'm being 100% honest, Jordan, this is going to take a long time for you to be competitive in this league.
Unless something drastic happens, like something drastic has to
I
happen.
don't see it happening.
Yeah, like even then, it's really difficult to see.
Look at all these teams, man. I mean, we talked about the first and second team, but
I was looking at it.
That third team, we have
has like
great quarterbacks: JT, ETN, Swift, Akers, Gibson, Higgins, Addison. Like questionable at wide receiver, but still very strong. Team
and
Ford
he has like three picks in 2024, which is tough
has
already.
the capital. Josh Allen, Najee, Derrick Henry, Miles Sanders, Calvin. Like these are very, very good teams. Chubb, Walker, Kamara, Johnson, Diggs, Kupp, Allen, Evans. Like some of these guys are going to break down. Their teams will break down, but it won't be for a couple years. The 6th rated team has Jalen Hurts. Their starting lineup. This is a start 8. Their starting lineup, the 6th ranked team in this league, will start Hurts, Rachaad White, Joe Mixon, Chris Olave, DK Metcalf, probably Jerry Jeudy, DJ Moore, and Dalton Schultz. Like that is a lot of people could win their redraft league with that team. Team 7 has CMC, Josh Jacobs, Justin Herbert, Adams, a little bit weak at wide receiver for sure, so that could break down at some point. I think even Team 8, dude. Like Team 8's team, you could draft right now and probably win a redraft league in.
It's a tough build, brother. I'm not necessarily sure. We can tell you we sell as many people as you can, get as much draft capital as you can, but you're not going to be able to compete next year, unfortunately.
No.
You can hope that Khalil Herbert goes off this year. Maybe you can get a second. You can hope Brian Robinson goes off this year. Maybe you can get a second. Maybe Chase Brown is the lead back next year. Izzy is the 4th running back on this roster. He's probably not even valuable now that Dalvin's there, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
It is tough. Chig's value is no longer there because D-Hop.
I still like Chig. I would hold on to him.
Yeah, so and in 2-3 years, George Kittle probably won't even be as valuable as you hope to be. So
okay, so let's give good actionable advice then. I will list out players that I would say you can sell right now, and then I'll list out players that you should sell in season because I think their value could rise. And you let me know if we add anyone to this list. Players that you can sell right now. Honestly, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford, if you can get something for those guys, fine. Outside of that, maybe George Kittle and David Njoku you could add to that list. This is not a tight end premium league. Those would be the names that you could look at selling right now. In season, definitely those quarterbacks that I mentioned, Khalil Herbert, Brian Robinson like we talked about, Raheem Mostert, Leonard Fournette, if something goes well for him. I would add Deebo Samuel to that list because I feel like right now he's undervalued. I think he will gain value in season. I really do. Outside of that, there's no one in that wide receiver room you sell high in season. They're all young, unproven guys.
Agreed.
Add George Kittle to the list. Add David Njoku to the list. I don't... Actually, in a 10 team, you might get a first for Kittle, to be honest. Like in a 10 team where the tight end position is more important. But I don't envision you competing when George Kittle's in his prime. So I would sell him. I would be open to selling Njoku and just honestly running the table with Chig and seeing what happens. Because again, we don't really want to win this year anyway. We don't have a chance to win this year. You need to get as much draft capital, and your draft picks need to be absolute gold to you. You cannot be moving your draft picks for anything. Because
it looks like he's
this team's going to be in a bad spot for a while, I think.
He doesn't have his own second right now. He doesn't have his own third. He has
his own third.
He does have his own. Oh, he has his own third in 25, not 24. Oh, he does have it in 24. Sorry, that's my fault. Yeah, so he doesn't even have. He does have his first in 25 as well. Okay, yeah. So This is a 2 to 3 year build, unfortunately, Jordan.
At minimum.
Yeah, I agree with Zach. This is, in a 10-man league, you could get more value if you get these. I feel like these seconds are a little bit more valuable in a 10-man league. You can get some good value in the second round of your rookie drafts, but you have to sell the players for the right price for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want this to be discouraging. I just want it. I think the goal is if someone's supporting us, they're supporting us financially, and then we review their team. The best thing that we can actually do for you is just to be 100% honest. And being 100% honest, I truly do not see a scenario in which you're competing this time next year.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see it. It'd be different if we had a treasure chest of draft picks and we can build our team that way, but we really don't have the resources to turn this around in a year. This is going to be a rough one. I'm not sure how the balance of power got so distorted.
Yeah.
Like it's honestly very, very distorted. I mean, this guy at the top has the RB1 and RB2 in Dynasty. And he also has 4 wide receivers who are ranked in my top 12 of Dynasty rankings. And he has a tight end 1.
I feel like he's just made trades with people that maybe didn't know much about Dynasty or didn't understand. I mean, he got Garrett Wilson, AJ Brown. I mean, yeah, this is.
And it's not like this team is going to break down anytime soon. This is built for a 4 or 5 year run, the way it's currently constructed.
Completely agree.
So don't want to be Debbie Downers. Just want to be 100% realistic. Hopefully there's some actionable advice there. If I give you 100% of my honesty, I don't think you're really going to enjoy this league for quite some time. It won't be a source of joy for you if we're rebuilding it. What I can say, Jordan, is that Badake and I we've set up your fantasy hotline. Yeah. Everyone who signs up on the Mother Flocker tier to support us with our code gets the fantasy hotline, which is a direct DM for advice. So anytime a trade comes your way, anytime you have a question, feel free to reach out to us. We will be your advocates, will be your resource, will be your sounding board. And honestly, I saw a trade. Was it from you or was it from someone else? Someone sent me a trade recently where...
it was him.
Was it him? Someone sent me a trade where I was like, how is someone's...
Was it the Tillman trade?
So in this league, by the way, someone sent him an offer where... I honestly feel like this league is like just people who are experienced in Dynasty kind of taking advantage of people who are brand new to it.
Yeah, I'm looking through it now. I can see this trade. Are you talking about the Kittle for?
So this is one of the trades that you sent us, and I think any Dynasty player who's been, in the space for a year or so will look at this trade and be like, I don't think it matters what the format is. This is not a good offer, but really, first round picks are what you're looking for. So this guy is sending you Zach Charbonnet 2 second-round picks for Kittle and Samuel. There's no way in your format where it's start 8 that Kittle isn't worth a first-round pick. There's no way. And then Deebo Samuel, I believe as well, in season should be worth a first-round pick. So, it's not an awful offer, but it's not someone looking out for your best interest. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. I really do, Jordan. Feel free to DM us with any thoughts. You'll probably watch this later with any thoughts or questions that you have. We want to be helpful, and I hope it is helpful.
Yeah. Good luck, brother. Like Zach said, please let us know if any questions, any trades that you do have via your fantasy hotline, and we will help you out. Maybe you can swindle somebody yourself. I think a lot of the top teams swindle some other people personally. Yeah,
I would be super curious to see how Team 1 got to this position. I wonder if Jordan can send us some trades that this guy's made, because I don't see a way that I don't see a way you build this team without just screwing over your friends hardcore.
Yeah. Yeah, Gino, Justin. I mean, yeah, that is a pretty wild team here.
But anyway, in
Hopefully that helps.
in summation, this is not a 1-year rebuild, if we're honest. It's going to take quite some time. We talked about the players that you could sell now and in season. Excuse me. Sorry. And any offers that you do get, feel free to send them our way in the fantasy hotline. We'll be a sounding board. Outside of that, if this is what I'll say as well. Like if this is, I'm curious how many dynasty leagues you're in. Getting another one, because dynasty is really fun and we want to help you along the way. I think that this team is going to cause you a lot of pain though over the next couple of years. So I want you to experience dynasty in the best way possible. And Sar Good is saying, Jordan, take it from someone that doesn't have a great dynasty team and won 2 years ago. Anything is possible. That is true, but what Joe's not telling you is that he had Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase on his team. And that was a pretty deadly combination.
Yeah.
But anything is possible. I just feel like you'd have to have like a record high season-long injuries, you know?
Yeah, that's what it's like. Even if Team 1 had both of their star players in the running back position, the wide receiver position, the depth is still there for this team.
Yeah.
You know, like even for Team 2, that can be said, right? Like it's tough.
Yeah. But Jordan, again, we want to be a resource. We want to be helpful. I hope that is helpful. Hang with us. Send us any questions you have. We'll be happy to help. If anyone out there wants this sort of experience for their dynasty teams, again, pretty simple way to get that. It's by supporting us over on the Flock Fantasy website with our promo code LAND. All you got to do is go to the link that we just put in the chat. It's also in the description in the pinned comment down below. Once you are entered into the website, sign up with our promo code LAND, choose the Mother Flocker tier. When you choose that Mother Flocker tier, let's list out the immense resources you're going to have at your fingertips, okay? Firstly, you're going to get everyone's, like on the website, Mason's, ours, Endgames, Domains, Fantasy Stock Exchange. You're going to get everyone's articles, everyone's databases, everyone's bonus videos, everyone's draft guides. Okay? That alone is crazy. You will also see everyone's rankings for Dynasty Superflex, for Dynasty 1 quarterback, for best ball, for redraft leagues. You'll be able to see our individual rankings if you want to pull them up. You'll be able to see everyone's rankings on the website. You can have a look at only my rankings. You can see the expert consensus across everyone as an average. If you're wanting to build a team that's young, you can use our age slider. Look at only players under the age of 25. So you get all of that. But when you sign up to the Mother Flocker tier, you also unlock our entire Discord, okay? Which includes having one of your Dynasty teams reviewed by us on a live stream, which includes the Fantasy Hotline, which is a direct DM for you to ask us advice, which includes the Dynasty Trade Show, which we do every week, where we will look at your trades in a video. Yep. I mean, immense value, absolute immense value for you guys, and you get 30% off with our code. So if you do sign up, feel free, DM us a screenshot. We'll get you all set up. Is there anything else we should say before we end the stream?
No, we will be live tomorrow on our redraft channel. Definitely go support us there if you want to watch any redraft content, redraft mock drafts. We will definitely be live there. We're pumping out 4 to 5 videos a week over there, and same on this channel. I think 3 videos we're doing right now until the season kind of gets a little bit closer. But yes, go support both channels. We love you. Appreciate each and every one of you, and love.
Yes.
All love.
Enjoy the rest of your night, guys.